Hello, everyone. It's Michelle Hardy, and I'm here doing bedtime stories for Burst into Books. And today I'm going to share my book, which is Mrs. Eel's Basement of Beautiful Magical Things. And I'll show you the back. So I'm just going to basically tell you the story that started it all. There once was a little girl who lived on a block with her father, and every now and then she was allowed to go down to Mrs. Eel's house for tea. So when she enters the home in the foyer, it's nice, pleasant, tasteful, very simple. But every now and then they go down to the basement. Now, you know when you go in a basement, there's one of those lights. It's about 30 watts. It comes with the home. And there's one of those long, dirty strings. So they click the light. They click the light. Now they walk down the stairs. Now the stairs, they seem to be old and rotting, kind of eaten by something. And they should creak, but they don't. So they call it the non-creak. So they walk down the non-creak. Now down in this basement, it's very dirty and it smells, but the little girl, she loves being down there. You know why? There's a lot of beautiful and magical things down there. There's little ticking timepieces and silver and brooches. It's just overwhelming the space. So when she's down there, she's wiping and thumbing and elbowing and getting dirt on her clothes and dust in her throat. So this one particular day, the little girl goes behind the stairs, and on the wall is a nail, and on that nail are some ruby earrings. The little girl, she loves them so much, but she never takes them off. She just kind of flicks them like this, and she goes, ooh, wee. So this one particular day, Mrs. Eels summons her for tea. Come up for tea. And bring Eleanor and Martha with you. Now, Eleanor and Martha are these two teacups that the little girl admired when she's down in this basement of beautiful and magical things. So the little girl runs over to the corner. She gets the teacups, places them on her right and her left hand, carries them up the non-creak into the kitchen, where Mrs. Eels has some fine linen on the table and some distilled water to clean the cups. Now, Mrs. Eels, she's the type, she gives silent direction, but you know what she means, you know. Basically, clean those cups, girl, so we can have this tea. So the little girl cleans the cups. So now the tea is ready. So Mrs. Eels, she pours some tea into the Eleanor cup. She pours some tea into the Martha cup. Mrs. Eels starts sipping her tea expertly. The little girl wanted to drink her tea, but it was hot. So Mrs. Eels could see she wanted to be grown up and drink her tea too. So she signaled for her to go to the North Pole, which was actually the freezer, to get some ice to put in her teacup too. So more silent direction, you know. So the little girl, when she gets up from the table, she bumps the table, and she looked at Mrs. Eels, but Mrs. Eels didn't say anything. You know why? Tomorrow she will be passing. Yeah, tomorrow she will be passing away. So a few weeks later, the little girl's father told her that Mrs. Eels had passed, but she was allowed to go back to the basement of beautiful and magical things, to be in there, just like Mrs. Eels would, valuing the things. So she'd be wiping and thumbing and elbowing and getting dirt on her clothes and dust in her throat. So this one particular day, the little girl noticed, oh, Eleanor and Martha are missing from the basement of beautiful and magical things. She ran up the non-creak, and there they were, in the same spot where they had tea before. And the Martha cup still had Mrs. Eel's pewter lipstick on it. So she says, I'm not going to wipe it. I'm not going to take her DNA off this cup. I'm going to leave it. So she takes the cups, places them on her right and her left hand, carries them back down the non-creek, and places them back in their prospective places. So she says, let me check out those ruby earrings. So she goes back behind the stairs, and there they are on the same nail, but they're shiny, polished, pretty even. And there's a note, and the note is from Mrs. Eels, and it said, you were the child that you understood my most silent direction. I didn't have to tell you much. We just clicked, right? We clicked. We clicked the light. We clicked. And she says, I love you. I love you so, so much. I love you. And these are your things, the beautiful and the magical. Everything is yours. I love you. Okay. Now, every day I tell this story to at least one person. And I wrote this story as a fictional story, but it started coming true in my own life. So I really met a lady, and she was giving me her things, and she passed away. And so every day I go and I share the story, and I share things from the story. So I love you. God bless you. I value you, and I appreciate you. Thank you.